Chapter 254's Unexpected Encounter. I didn't expect Third Prince long to lose. The Third Prince of the Dragon was invincible in the spirit sealing space before Demon Sky became famous. I didn't expect Demon Sky to rise so quickly. This battle will definitely stir up the entire spirit sealing space. It's definitely big news. The crowd was talking a lot. Everyone looked at the Third Prince of the Dragon in the field, who was being chopped away by Devil's Sky with a knife. They all sighed. A generation of supreme powerhouses had actually ended up like this. It was really saddening. Kang Tian was also carefully observing the battle. His brows were furrowed and a thoughtful look appeared in his eyes. Strange, with an attack as powerful as that, even I would have to suffer a heavy blow. It's impossible for Devil Heaven to be unharmed at all, even if he was stronger. It had to be admitted. That strike by the Third Prince of the Dragon was very powerful. In the place of Kang Tian, there was no guarantee that he wouldn't be injured, but the Devil's Sky had done it. If Mo Chan was a shattering vacuum powerhouse, it would still make sense. But Mo Chan hadn't reached the shattering vacuum realm at the moment, and he wasn't much stronger than the Third Prince of the Dragon. So how was it possible for him to block Witch Blow unharmed? Could it be that he didn't resist Witch Strike at all? Rather, he dodged it. But how did he dodge it? Looking at the strong and unrivaled Devil Sky in the sky, Kang Tian pondered deeply in his heart. This question not only troubled him, but also the Third Prince of the Dragon. Isn't it strange that your killing blow is useless against me? High in the sky, Demon Heaven was also able to see the doubts in the Third Prince of Dragon's heart. He revealed a morose cold smile, and his entire body instantly transformed into 7 figures, each of which was exactly the same, all of which were Demon Heaven. This, the Third Prince of the Dragon's eyes widened, his face full of incredulity. The crowd watching the battle below were all staring with jaws agape as well, looking incredulously at the 7 Devil Heavens in the sky. This was also too shocking to be imagined. The 7 Devil Heavens, identical and very real, each exuded a powerful aura. The 7 Devil Heavens slashed out a blade at the same time, then converged together to form a terrifying blade that slashed at the Third Prince of Dragon. Immediately, blood and flesh erupted, and scales fell as the Third Prince of the Dragon was blown out by his entire body, knocking down a mountain peak. The 7 Demon Heavens, each possessing great power, truly existed. I see. Is this the legendary out-of-body incarnation? I didn't realize that the Devil Heavens possess such powerful aptitudes. Among the crowd, Kang Tian had a dawning look in his eyes. He had heard the Dan Emperor say that the divine ability of incarnation outside body was very powerful. It was a divine ability that could only be given to some body-refining cultivators to be practiced. But it was a pity that the Heavenly Tao Sect Contribution Hall didn't have this divine ability to redeem. Of course, it is also possible that his authority is not enough after all. The Contribution Hall many things he cannot watch now, only when the cultivation level is high to be able to access. But no matter what, the fact that Devil Heaven was able to learn this divine ability made Kang Tian very surprised. No wonder he was able to dodge the Third Prince of the Dragon's surefire strike. Obviously, Devil Heaven had used an out-of-body incarnation to confuse the Third Prince of the Dragon's vision, and his real body had already escaped long ago, which caused that terrifying strike to completely miss. Ha 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 ha. Heavenly Devil 7 transformations. I didn't expect you to have practiced the Demon Sect's Heavenly Demon 7 transformations. This prince's defeat under you is not unjust. Dragging his wretched body, the Third Prince of the Dragon at the opposite side of the 7 Devil Heaven with a face full of bitterness. 7 Heavenly Demon transformations. Kang Tian frowned at the words. So it's the Heavenly Devil 7 transformations. Rumor has it that this is the supreme divine ability of the Devil Sect. Very few people have learnt it. I didn't think that the Devil Heavens had practiced it. Number wonder it's known as the Devil Sect's strongest outer disciple. The biggest difficulty in cultivating the heavenly devil 7 transformations is the 7 divisions of the soul. This pain of splitting the soul no one can withstand. One time is going to make a person go crazy, let alone 7 times. This devil sky perverted horror. Instead, a murmur came from the crowd. Kang Chuan instantly understood the horror of the heavenly devil's 7 transformations. Although he hadn't split his soul, he knew that the pain of the soul's injuries far exceeded that of the physical body. Splitting the soul hard into 7 pieces. How strong a fortitude and will must one need to persevere. Looking at the 7 devil heavens in the sky, Kang Chuan could not help but have a wave of admiration rise in his heart. While the Kang Chuan hegemonic blood in his body boiled, his entire body filled with a strong battle intent. Such a strong person, if he couldn't fight with one of them, it would be the regret of his life. To be able to support splitting your soul 7 times, I'm afraid that your intention has long since reached the 10% realm and condensed into a will. Right. High in the sky, the 3rd prince of the dragon at the opposite side of devil heaven with a face full of admiration. Despite losing to the other side and about to fall, he didn't have the slightest bit of resentment in his heart. From the first day he stepped into the cultivation world, the 3rd prince of the dragon had long ago put life and death at risk. This time he lost convincingly. His opponent was simply too strong. It was not humiliating to die in the hands of such a strong person. Well, among the crowd, Kang Chuan was shocked. To be able to condense supreme will by raising one's intention to the 10% realm before the yawning stage. This was the kind of enlightenment that only some Geishi geniuses had, and it would be difficult to find a few such characters in the entire cultivation world. And this was also Kang Chuan's goal all along, even though he had constant encounters and had an exceptional level of enlightenment. He had only raised his intention to 70% by now, and there was still a long way to go before he could reach the 10th percentile. What a strong opponent! Kang Chuan sighed in his heart. His eyes glittered with a shocking battle intent as he looked at Devil Sky. His intuition told him that this person would be his greatest opponent. Whether it was now or in the future, there would be a day when they would face each other. You guessed right, I have indeed comprehended the will. It's time for everything to come to an end. Let me send you on your last journey with my strongest power. This is my way of honoring you. From now on, I will not be able to meet an opponent like you in this spirit sealing space. It is time to leave. In the sky, Devil Heaven sighed in a low voice. His expression was cold and indifferent as he slowly raised the devil blade in his hand. And boundless devil chi suddenly erupted, converging towards the devil blade. In an instant, the entire dim sky regained its light, and all of the boundless demonic chi converged into the magic blade. The entire devil blade was pitch black, emitting an evil and terrifying aura that caused everyone's hearts to tremble. Ha ha ha, I didn't think that this prince would die in a place of trial like the spirit sealing space. I'm really not willing to do so. But I'm convinced of my defeat, and in the next life, I'll fight again in the vault of heaven. Feeling the boundless demonic aura suppressing him, the 3rd prince of the dragon actually laughed without changing his color, a sense of spontaneity exuding from his body. Many people looked at this scene and couldn't help but feel admiration. This was a truly strong person who was not afraid even in the face of death. Kang Chuan was also in awe. Stop. Suddenly, a familiar voice exploded in the sky, and then people saw a strong figure rushing into the demonic aura, blocking in front of the 3rd prince of the dragon, facing the demonic heaven directly. The crowd was very shocked. All of them looked at this person who suddenly appeared with surprise. This person was very strong and dared to intervene in the battle between Demon Heaven and the 3rd Prince of Dragon. It had to be said that one would not dare to do so without a few points of backbone and strength. Obviously, this person was very extraordinary. But even if it is extraordinary again, the crowd does not think that this person can block this knife of the devil sky. Only to see that the devil knife that contains boundless devil chi splits straight away, and 100 feet long knife on ***** comes out, shattering the void, just like divine punishment to kill. Everyone believed that no one would be able to block this blade, and the third prince of the dragon would definitely die this time. Divine battle unparalleled. With a loud roar, this person was very strong, standing directly in front of the third prince of the dragon. And under the shocked gazes of the crowd, he blasted out with a fist, his entire body erupting with a blinding golden light. Many people exclaimed out in shock. This kind of aura was absolutely extraordinary. Among the invincible level was also a strong person. It looked like this person dared to step out to save the third prince of the dragon. Indeed had a few points of strength and self-confidence. Seek death, seeing the incoming person's presumptuous attempt to crush his own strike with a single punch. Devil Heaven couldn't help but reveal a morose killing intent in his eyes, as his entire person took a step forward, instantly closing the distance between the two sides. Rumble. Right at this moment, the matchless blade aura had already collided with the sudden arrival, erupting into a series of explosions as the entire sky trembled and the earth below trembled. Plop. In the midst of the boundless power fluctuations, a golden figure flew out backwards. He spewed out a mouthful of blood. Although his face was pale, his eyes were translucent with a shocking battle intent. The crowd cried out in astonishment. Although this person was injured, he was able to block demonic heaven's strike and save the third prince of the dragon. From this, it could be seen that this person was very powerful, even if he wasn't as good as Devil Sky. He wasn't far behind, and was a premier powerhouse in the spirit sealing space. Brother Jin, you're not his opponent. It's better to leave quickly. With your talent, you might be able to surpass him in the future, and it won't be too late to avenge me at that time. The third prince of the dragon couldn't help but yell out when he saw that the visitor was injured. When the crowd heard this, they immediately knew that the visitor was a friend of the third prince of the dragon. Otherwise they wouldn't have tried their best to save him. They just couldn't. Imagine that the third prince of the dragon was not only powerful in his own right, but also had such a powerful friend. However, some of the invincible powerhouses who were watching the battle were puzzled. They unexpectedly did not recognize the visitor. To know that the spirit sealing space was not that big, there were not many invincible powerhouses. Most of them knew each other. But this person who saved the third prince of the dragon, not a single person present knew him, which was very strange. What a surprise. I didn't expect them to actually know each other. It looks like they are still on good terms. Among the crowd, Kang Chon was somewhat stunned as he looked at this strong person who had suddenly arrived and blocked Demon Heaven's blow. His eyes filled with curiosity. Roar. A roar came from the sky. In the people's shocked gazes, a golden-colored giant ape stepped into the air and stood up, looking at the opposite side of Devil Sky, his eyes full of unyielding light, his body transmitting a heavenly battle intent. Long San, don't worry, with my little gold here, no one can kill you. The golden-colored giant ape comforted Long San, then his huge body exploded with dazzling golden light, rushing towards the opposite demon sky, launching a fierce attack. In the crowd, Kang Chon's eyes stared tightly at the high sky, his fists clenched in his hands, ready to strike at any time. This person was none other than Xiaojin. It did not occur to him that they had just met here not long after they parted ways from the City of Heaven, which was somewhat surprising to Kang Chon. However, seeing that little gold was safe and sound, he was still quite happy in his heart. Kang Chon was surprised that Xiaojin had befriended the third prince of the dragon. Seeing that the two were on good terms, he thought that there must be some experience in it, and he would have to ask him about it later. At this time, Xiaojin, in order to save the third prince of the dragon, has already started a fierce battle with the Devil Sky. Little Gold is not his opponent. Being able to support until now should be almost enough. Kang Chon looked at the battle in the sky and muttered under his breath. Even though Little Gold had cast his talent berserk at the first opportunity, he was still losing ground and unable to resist against the matchless Devil Heaven. The time that Little Gold had broken through to the peerless level was too short after all, and with his talent mania, he might be able to defeat those ordinary peerless powerhouses. But when he encountered a genius like Devil Sky, he naturally couldn't withstand it. Not only was Kangqian able to know the situation, at this moment, everyone else could also see that Xiao Jin was at the end of his strength. Brother Jin, you quickly leave. Your heart-long San understands, but now is not the time to be brave. Don't you still need to find your brother? If you die here, what will your brother do? Dragon Third Prince continued to persuade as he exploded the remaining power in his body, joining forces with Little Jin to kill Demon Heaven.